All right, welcome to Game 4 of Malice in the Mountains tournament. It is going to be Coyote Country Roller Derby's Palouse River Rollers going up against the FoCo Micro Bruisers. So any indication of the sanctioned games that we've had so far is going to be a lot of physical play, very hard hitting, and see if it's going to be very defense driven again. These jammers going to have a hard time of it. The next couple of games here. Still have one more game today and then two more games tomorrow. All right, and that rolling whistle, we're getting underway. It is going to be Phytochondria going up against Sid Vicious. The FoCo Mini Bruisers are going to be in light blue against the darker black and green-ish of the River Rollers. And on our first jam, it's Phytochondria getting some room, some good offensive help by Sharkbait there and get the lead. Nice hit out by number 29 of FoCo. That was Gonzo. Gonzo had a really great game earlier this morning as well. But Phytochondria is through for 4, so we have the first points of the game on the board already. Again, takes a hit, but then rolls right off it through for 4 more. Sid Vicious still having a hard time against the River Rollers, but is through now. Meanwhile, 4 more on the board for Phytochondria. And that is a 12-point jam to start things off for the advantage for the River Rollers. I'll run through the River Roller lineup here quickly. Is 0210 Sir Vixen, 07 Solar Roller, number 22 Sharkbait, 247 Luxury Active, number 27 Don't Care Bear, 29 Pterodactyl, 33 Jawbreaker, 333 Phytochondria, 626 Night Fury, 757 Shield Be Sassy, number 90 Whiskey Smash, and 99 Betty Rumble. And now we have Spilly Idol going up against, let's see, looks to be Roller Flare, but it is Roller Flare quickly out with lead. Good lateral movements by Roller Flare to split up the FoCo pack. Trips over one of their own skaters, but is quickly back up on their feet and through for 4. Spilly Idol still fighting to find a way to get through the pack. So we have a very good defense put up here by the River Rollers. Solar Flare, nice moves inside, gets through for 4 more, 8 points. So early 20-0 lead for the River Rollers here. All right, Tiffy Twister going up against Whiskey Smash. Whiskey Smash also serving as the coach and player of this team. A little jammer on jammer action here is start up again. Both jammers still behind the quick moves from Tiffy Twister to bring that out, and that gives the first lead for FoCo in jam number 3. Calling for some offensive help and getting it on the inside, but a nice hit by Sharkbait. Stops Tiffy Twister in their tracks. They are still able to put up 2 points, giving the Micro Bruisers their first points of the game. Now we have Night Fury in the darker colored jersey. Up against number 15 in the light blue, that is MDK Demolition. There's a lot of pushing going on right here at our jam line once again. Jawbreaker comes back in from the bench. We got a clear bench now, or a clear penalty box now. It's really good communication with these defensive players to contain these jammers. The Jammers trying to also talk to their offense to try to help them out here. Pterodactyl doing a good job up front. But no, it is sent to the, as I say that, is sent to the penalty box for a directional. So that will put down a pivot for the River Rollers. Action with a nice hit up against Demolition. Some good one-on-one blocking by Active of the River Rollers, leading them right into the tripod, Demolition into the tripod. So lead is still open as we go into the close in on the first minute of this jam. So again, it does look to be like it's going to be another very tough defensive battle in this game, and Pterodactyl is back out on the track and going right back into providing some offensive help. But we do have a penalty, a back block that sends Pterodactyl back too. So that is 2 penalties in one jam for Pterodactyl. Keep in mind that you can get 7 penalties before you are ejected from the game. "26 seconds left in the jam, and we're still all caught up here, bunched up at turn number 1. No lead has been called. So it looks like and there is a handoff, and so that gives FoCo the lead. That is Peter Panic now with the star in hand. And Fireball in the light blue going up against She'll Be Sassy. Both 2 very strong quick jammers we saw earlier this morning. So a whole lot of hitting, very hard shoving, but the lead does go to the River Runners. That is She'll Be Sassy, getting some advice from the bench on what to do next here with that lead. Fireball still looking for a way through. So yeah, both teams, strong defense. These Jammers got a very difficult job ahead of them here. Looking for it and gets it. The handoff to Breezy, but then the jam is called off by She'll Be Sassy. So 2 points put up by the River Rollers. So we're at 22-3. So again, another very low scoring game, just as we've seen these teams at this tournament are very evenly matched up. Sid Vicious out there in light blue, going up against Phytochondria, and for the River Rollers, that is up front now by the pivot line, trying to split that team up, but some very good blocking there. Looks like Care Bear. But no, it is through. Phytochondria living up to the name, definitely fights for those points or fights for lead position. And gets through and pulls it off. And Sid Vicious is now out of the pack. Charging in hard is Phytochondria and hit out of bounds and calls that one off. Still able to put up 2 points. So another 2 points for the River Rollers, which in a game as low scoring as this one, you just get those 2 points each and every jam will put you up ahead by a pretty good lead. Right now, they're up by 21 points, are the River Rollers. All All right, Spilly Idol up against Solar Roller. Two very strong jammers. And a lot of bodies on the floor as a result. It is Solar Roller up front, trying to push through that tripod. Spilly Idol brought back, is going again though, getting some offensive help with a nice whip and through. With the assist is Bowser, and Spilly Idol is through for lead. All right, now we have, looks like perhaps a forearm call on Bowser. So after a very great whip to get Spilly through, they are sent to the box. But Spilly has earned 4 and earns 4 more before calling that one off. So good run there. It would really help out the micro bruisers on that. Or rather, it looks like only 3 on that last pass, so it's a 7-point jam. Bringing it to 24-10 as we're already past 10 minutes of this game. Very low scoring. Whiskey Smash, number 90, in the dark blue. Tiffy Twister in the light blue. Tiffy being held back at first by the line. Some nice quick movements by Whiskey Smasher. Breaks open that tripod of FoCo, and they are in the lead. Rolling around now for their scoring pass. Nice moves to the outside, cuts, takes some hits, stays on their feet. It's finally brought out, but not before scoring, getting all 4 points. So excellent footwork there by Whiskey Smash to get all 4 of those points when that defense was ready and waiting for her. Night Fury in the dark jersey going up against MDK Demolition in the light blue. All right, now this time both the teams are right up at that jam line, so we're going to have a bit of a scrum. Looks more like a derby game or a rugby game right now. Everyone all bunched together like that. Hard hits. That was Betty Rubble also seemed to have some assists. Oh, no, there's a stop block on that. They'll send Betty Rumble to the penalty box for the River Rollers. And Sharkbait was a nice hit to bring out MDK Demolition, who was just about to break through. Night Fury's got a very well set up tripod to contend with, just ahead of Demolition, who's also fighting against a tripod of their own. See some offensive help from 313. That is a Haterade with the offense. And gets them through, so that offense effective. And Demolition has the lead. Meanwhile, Sharkbait, the pivot for the River Rollers, goes to the penalty box. And Night Fury is brought back and recycled. So with an 18-point lead right now is the River Rollers, but FoCo definitely threatening that lead right now. A bit of a good scoring run for MDK Demolition. But the River Rollers are not letting up, not giving anything up. And back out onto the track is Sharkbait of the River Rollers. Once again, Haterade with the offense there to try to help out Night Fury. Or MDK rather, to help out MDK. So 4 points by the Micro Bruiser. So it was hard fought, but did manage to get by all 4 blockers to get that 4-point score. And I mean, as hard as that was, those 4 points are going to really help close up that lead. 999 Fireball in light blue, Solar Roller in dark. That looks like we had team timeout called right before that started. So yes, team timeout called by the River Rollers. That'll be their first. So 14-point game right here. So we're almost halfway through it. It's a 28-14. I don't know if I've seen a Derby score that low, this late into the first half. Probably have. I've been doing this for 3 years and announcing a lot of games, but nothing comes to mind right now. Especially as many of these games have just been these defensive battles. I don't think I've ever been to a tournament where the defenses were so strong on every team. All right, and we are back at it. Fireball against Solar Roller. And we have a back block called that will send Solar Roller, so now we have a power jam opportunity. This could be a big help for FoCo. They really gang up those points, and they do have lead, so it is Fireball with the lead. Opting to get some defense, but it's solid wall by the River Rollers. Solar Roller went into that wall and was brought down. Back on their feet, trying to navigate their way through. And Solar Filler back in and comes in fast, but just like Fireball hits the wall and goes down, comes right back up to their feet though, trying to get on through. Meanwhile, on their scoring run is Fireball, trying to earn those points. And through is Fireball, 4-4. And Solar Flare makes it through the pack. That'll cause Fireball to call that one off. And again, now we have our 10-point game as we are at exactly 15 minutes left in the game, halfway through our first half. Sid Vicious in light blue, Whiskey Smash in the dark jersey. Sid Vicious to the outside, gets on by Betty Rumble and gets the door for the lead. But it is Whiskey Smash following up right behind. Both are on a scoring run. Sid Vicious is going to call that one off. Does manage to get 2 points though. So again, those gains are going to help out the Micro Bruisers as we now just go into an 8-point game. So with an early 20-0 lead at the beginning of this game, the Micro Bruisers have now scored 20 points of their own and are only behind by 8 points. Billy Idol against She'll Be Sassy. Some little jammer confrontation up front, but Spilly Idol's behind. And a solid hit. But no, there is going to be a forearm called against Sir Vixen. That'll send them to the box, and She'll Be Sassy is the lead jammer. All right, 2 points put up by the River Rollers, so now we're back at our 10-point game, 30-20. Phytochondria up against Tiffy Twister. So, yeah, both very physical jammers. So we'll see in this defensive kind of game who will come out on top of that. Especially as now both teams opt to line up right at the line. Phytochondria, a lot of speed bursting in there. Tiffy Twister as well. But no, entered in, was knocked out and entered in too soon as Tiffy Twister. So now we do have a power jam advantage for the River Rollers. I'm sure Phytochondria is going to be asking for and looking for some offensive help. Is getting it, pushing it through. Breezy up on top, but is Phytochondria. Grabs that lead We do have another forearm call as one of the blockers of the River Rollers goes to the penalty box. Mitochondria and Breezy once again battling it out on top. This time I believe they have help from Gonzo and one other blocker I cannot see right now. So a tough tripod up front here, put forward by FoCo. That Mitochondria is trying to work through. Tiffy Twister through and out, coming off the bench, and that'll force the jam to be called off. 3 points to the River Rollers. Roller Flare in black against MDK in light blue. A reminder, the FoCo is in the light blue, the River Rollers in the darker jerseys. And we're off right as everyone's lined up at that jam line. Solar Flare's got a bit of a head start, but very quickly regrouping is the FoCo defenders to surround their MDK Demolition brought back by Active, as some assist by Firecracker and Pterodactyl. And through is Solar Roller for lead. And we do have a star pass given to Peter Panic. Great star pass, very quick, very effective. And Solar Roller is going to call that one off. They did grab some points though, grabbing 3 points. And so now the River Rollers are starting to expand that lead once again as we wind down into the last 10 minutes of our first half. Fireball back out there for FoCo. Whiskey Smash. Oh, and we do have a timeout. That is going to be called by FoCo, so that's a team timeout called by the Microbruisers. So both teams have used one team timeout. They'll have 2 more this game to use. This will give the teams a minute to kind of regroup and talk things over. You know, the Microbruisers on a bit of a run there for a little while, but now the River Rollers are starting to pull ahead once again. And I'm sure the Microbruisers want to figure out how they can close up that lead like they had been doing so successfully during the middle part of this half. I'll quickly go down the Microbruiser lineup here. We have 101 Sid Vicious, number 15 MDK Demolition, number 20 Dead Zeppelin, 211 Mama Crass, number 29 Gonzo, 313 Haterade, 514 Parks and Rec, 555 Spilly Idol, 626 Peter Panic, 707 Bowser, number 77 Tiffy Twister, at number 80 Breezy, number 96 Jacqueline Hyde, and 999 Fireball. Their coaches are Public Emily, Georgia St. Pierre, and Sticks and Stones. All right, we got our 5 seconds call from the jam timer. So again, it is Fireball opting for the outside. Quick move to the inside is Whiskey Smash and through for a lead. And an excellent pass to Breezy, but that is quickly picked up by the River Rollers. And Breezy is the jammer for FoCo now. Whiskey Smash, though, doing some nice footwork to get through for 4. But now Breezy is out and has a star on their helmet. Whiskey Smash glides on through. Excellent. Offense to get another point here before having to call that one off. So a 5-point jam for the River Rollers. All right, Sid Vicious in light blue going against Night Fury. Like a lot of these jams, starting off right at that jam line with a whole lot of shoving. And Night Fury sprints forward and is out for a lead. Just find that little bit of an opening and a quick burst of speed. And Night Fury is out and has lead, and on their scoring run. Slams hard into the tripod of FoCo. Oh, and we do have a forearm call, so now that lead is lost, and so we will do the full 2 minutes of this jam as Night Fury goes to the penalty box. And Sid Vicious has been loosed out of the pack, so now they are on their scoring run and have the advantage of having some offensive help here as the opposing jammer has to sit for 30 seconds. But very good reforming defensively is the River Rollers to halt Sid Vicious. So now we have Care Bear, Pterodactyl, and Firecracker along with Active halting Sid Vicious's advantage here. But now the bridge does go out of play, so Sid Vicious is through for 4 points. Night Fury now back off the bench, back into play on their second scoring run is Sid Vicious. 30 seconds left in the jam. And right around turn 3, everyone's all blocked up right there. Looking for some space to move. Nice offense by Pterodactyl, and that gets Night Fury out. Sid Vicious going up against Active, fighting for it and getting it. Nice hop on the inside, takes Night Fury on through for 4 more. And an 8-8 jam on that one. A lot of work for both these teams coming out 8-8 on that. Billy Idol in light blue, Solar Roller in black. About to start jam number 17 in our first half. Spilly going to the inside, not finding it, switches to the middle. Solar Roller shoving their way up the middle, just trying to gain the ground, just putting their shoulder to it. But through is Spilly Idol for a lead. Solar Flare with a nice spin move to get around and free of the pack on their scoring run. Spilly Idol on through. Getting 4 points. Nice offensive work by Betty Rumble. Or I'm sorry, past Betty Rumble to get by Betty Rumble. Spilly now on another scoring run, already 4 points up on the board. Solar Roller with some nice lateral movements to try to split up Breezy and Bowser, but Breezy with a solid hit brings down Solar Flare. But no, we get a high block that sends Breezy to the penalty box. Spilly Idol regrouping, going in for get some more points. Finishing on through is Solar Roller. 4 points for Solar Roller. Or no, I said that was their initial, rather. Now they are on their scoring run. All right, 4-8 jam. The score is getting fixed up here, so we have a 53-36 advantage River Rollers, who have been really working hard to extend that lead, but they were up by 30 points early in the game before FoCo really got close, got within 8 points at one time. We have an official timeout, but it looks like we'll get back into the game here quickly. All right, and we are off. Tiffy Twister in light blue. As gets Whiskey Smash for the River Rollers. Oh, and Tiffy Twister to the penalty box, and now an advantage to the River Rollers. Really look to be able to get expand that lead here before the half ends. Whiskey Smash shoving their way through, trying to find some offense to get on by, get a But no, there's a big number 96 of FoCo. That is Jacqueline Hyde blocking their way and recycling them back. Now Whiskey Smasher out again, trying to get through, but very good defensive wall that they are up against. Tiffy Twister out of the box, back out onto the track, and lead has not been called, so an excellent penalty kill. And Tiffy Twister is out, so out of the box. And I don't believe lead had been assessed, so I believe Tiffy Twister is now lead. Oh, hard collision, both skaters going down, but coming right back up. Tiffy Twister shoving their way through. Gets 4 more, 8 points for Tiffy Twister. Started the jam in the penalty box and is now back out on the track for 8. Oh, hard hit. And we'll get back into the action here shortly. So I have 2 minutes, 47 seconds left in our first half here. I'd like to make some announcements before the half. Remember, we do have restrooms indoors. However, those are only for the skaters and officials only, so please use the porta potties outside. While you are taking our 15-minute break at the half, be sure to visit our concession stand. Also, we have our raffle table. It's $1 per ticket and $25 per arm span. So find someone some long arms and get an arm span worth of tickets. And we'll announce some of the items should be announced today, who the winners are for some of the raffle prizes. So if you are unable to be here for that, include your contact information. We can get that prize to you. And there are plenty of prizes to take home if you are traveled here. So put some tickets into that and very well have a good chance of coming home with something besides a couple of wins and maybe some MVP awards. And tomorrow we should have our tournament patches for Malice in the Mountains. They should be available. So yeah, the design here is really nice. So I'm definitely going to get a patch as soon as they're available. And that'll be those will be available tomorrow. Our games will start at 9 a.m. And there'll be 2 games, one at 9 a.m. and another at 11 a.m. And that'll close out our tournament weekend of these 4 teams. each team playing each other one time. All right, our rolling whistle gets this bat going again. And that whistle starts the jam. So now we'll have She'll Be Sassy against MDK Demolition of FoCo. Jammer's trying to swing to the outside, but both caught up there. But it is She'll Be Sassy that does get through for a lead. Nice star pass to Breezy. Breezy now the jammer for FoCo. She'll Be Sassy on the scoring run. Coming through, slamming into the tripod, getting their hips by, scooting by on one skate, and they got all 4 points. But I believe a penalty was assessed at the end there, so while She'll Be Sassy did get all 4 points, they will also be starting this next jam in the penalty box. That'll give Fireball and FoCo a power start advantage. And we are back into a 10-point game, so I am sure the Microbruisers would love to get a lead hit change here before closing out this game, or closing out this half. Fireball doing some lateral back and forth movements, effective, getting through. Pterodactyl hits them out. But perhaps went out themselves. Fireball went out. And out of play up front, so Fireball is out and free for lead. Now let's see. She'll Be Sassy coming in, lots of speed, slamming into the tripod. Effective movement, gets through and by, and is now through the pack themselves. Meanwhile, it is Fireball fighting hard for points. She'll Be Sassy coming in, see if they got a point before the whistle was called, and yes, 3 points by She'll Be Sassy, speeding around that track, catch up to the 4 points that were posted up by Fireball. 9-point game, 30 seconds left. Sid Vicious out there against Night Fury. Sid Vicious in light blue. Night Fury swings to the outside, gets a right on through, and is now your lead. So the River Rollers perhaps having lead in this last jam of the half. And a lot of hard hits right around turn number 1, but Night Fury comes out of it for 4. Sid Vicious coming around, trying to find a way out, as on another scoring run is Night Fury, 4 more points. So going into the half, River Rollers with a little bit of a nice lead to go through, but it is Sid Vicious right back out now, so perhaps Night Fury looking for a few more points here before calling it. And we got the rolling whistle to end the half here. We'll get the official word from the officials to see if if that's how we're going to end it. But for right now, it does look like, yes, that is how we are going to end that first half. The Palouse River Rollers up 68 points to the 51 put up by the Microbruisers. So, yeah, once again, this is going to be another game that is very likely going to come down to the last jam. So be back here in 14 minutes for some more Derby action. stuff during the half here, so. Yeah. So I should announce like halftime of the next game. Is that or? Okay, all right. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we'll do. They said the second half we're gonna do probably the last game of that day then too. Oh, off today. Oh, okay, so. Okay, okay. So. All right. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay.
What? Yeah, we missed through. That's what I was checking.
One of the things I remember, like, that is
Okay, 30 seconds till we begin our second half of our game. It's Coyote Country Roller Derby's Palouse River Rollers going up against FoCo Micro Bruisers. Right now, River Rollers have a 17-point lead to go into the second half here, so they're not safe by any means. FoCo can definitely pull this one out still. They have 30 minutes to do so, which is more than enough time. And looks like we are starting the second half with a power start for FoCo. And it's right up the middle. Sid Vicious tries to go to the outside to find some room. Swings back to the inside, spins around, and is through for a lead. It's a nice footwork by Sid Vicious to get through a very busy pack and get through on lead in 10 seconds time. Sid Vicious now coming around, trying to get through, stays in bounds for 4. This is exactly how the Micro Bruisers, I'm sure, would want to start this half, really close up that lead that the River Rollers have had. Sid Vicious for 4 more, so we have 8 points. Night Fury out of the box for the River Rollers. Trying to find a way through that FoCo defense. Sid Vicious on another scoring pass, but now is halted up by turn number 2. Have some bodies going down, but everyone's back up. Sid Vicious really putting the shoulder in, really trying to get some, gain some ground here. But the River Rollers are dug in. No, we do have a multiplayer call that's going to send Pterodactyl to the penalty box. Sid Vicious halted up by Active. Night Fury still trying to get around that FoCo wall. Oh, takes a hard hit, but stays up as Sid Vicious and is able to step on through for 4 more. That is 12 points in this jam. So this is a great way to start for FoCo in this second half. Down 17 and already 12 on the board. 4 more points, 16 on the board. That is the highest scoring jam of the tournament so far. We've only had a few 12-point jams, so 16 points. Yeah, it's been that kind of a tournament. And now it is just a 1-point game. So just like that, threatening a lead change in the second jam of the second half is FoCo. Solar Roller in the dark jersey up against Billy Idol in the light blue. And we're off again, both trying to shove up the middle of the pack. Looking for some ground, looking forward to some openings. Both defensive teams really good at regrouping and getting in front of that block jammer as soon as they see something. That gets plugged right up. Nice move. I don't even think anyone saw that coming by Solar Roller. Skipped to the inside and got by everyone. Billy Idol out of the pack now. Solar Rollers putting some points on the board, calling that off. And so the River Rollers maintain their lead. (757) she'll be sassy up against number 77, Tiffy Twister in the light blue. All right, once again, Tiffy goes to the outside, but is brought back into the middle. Shoving a Solar Roller, trying to find some space, getting caught up. One more to beat, they are out and through. River Rollers with or she'll be sassy rather, with the lead for the River Rollers. We do have a successful star pass, so Breezy is now your jammer for FoCo. But no, they're calling back that star pass, so now Tiffy Twister is going to the penalty box as the jammer for FoCo. So now we have a penalty, we have a power jam that is going to help the River Rollers trying to spread out that lead a little bit more again. And She'll Be Sassy decides to call that one off. That is going to give a power start advantage as Whiskey Smash gets through. And Whiskey Smash can do a lot of damage even without having four offensive blockers to help. So we're not even a full 5 minutes into the second half, and already a lot's going on. 78-67 is your score. All right, and this power starts on in the way. Whiskey Smash going up the middle, looking for some offense, getting it, looking to beat Breezy, and does. Gonzo right there, though, to stop on through, but no, it is, the pack got spread out a little bit too far, so that was out of play, so now Whiskey smashes through for a lead. But just like that, Tiffy Twister off the bench and through the pack. On their scoring run with a nice spin move is Whiskey Smash. 4 points for Whiskey Smash. There is a penalty called at the end of that. We'll see who's looks like a directional might send Shark Bait to the box. That is the pivot for the River Rollers. MDK Demolition with the star for FoCo up against Solar Roller. Up the middle again is Solar Roller. And a work in the edges now is MDK Demolition. Both jammers getting caught up right here. Solar Roller goes down momentarily, but it's through. But no, it is MDK Demolition who comes out with lead. hot on their heels is Solar Roller. And rather than try to race a very speedy Solar Roller, MDK Demolition calls that one off for a 0-0 jam. Mitochondria, number 333 in the dark jersey, go up against 999 Fireball. So we have two triple-digit numbers going up against each other. All right, once we started a lot of these jams, a whole lot of colliding, but with a burst of speed is Mitochondria through and out. On their scoring run, slams into a tripod, gets stopped, but Mitochondria lives up to their name, is always fighting for space and room and points. Meanwhile, Fireball still trying to get through a very tough, but no, there is a successful star pass. That goes to 626, Night Fury. Or rather, Peter Panic. I'm sorry, they got the right number, but the wrong team. 626 of the Micro Bruisers is now the jammer. And after taking a couple of hard hits, Mitochondria decides to call that one off, but successfully gained 8 points on that. And so now we have a 22-point game. So yeah, the Micro Bruisers threatening early, bringing it to a 1-point game, and now we are spread back out to a 22-point game. So I'm sure the FoCo is going to be talking about how to regain that momentary advantage that they were showing, and River Rollers are going to want to concentrate on extending this lead for the next 21 minutes. Sid Vicious, though, nice footwork for lead for FoCo. On their scoring run now, up against a ready and waited, but a nice move, kind of like a knife edge, right through the tripod. Is Sid Vicious. And we do have a star pass. It looks like Pterodactyl of the River Rollers is now the jammer, and they are brought out and recycled by Gonzo. Sid Vicious with lead up against very difficult Don't Care Bear and Active, and assisted by Firecracker, halting them right here at turn number 3. We do get a directional call that will send Breezy to the penalty box. Pterodactyl looking to get through, but no, shoved out by Gonzo, who's in turn shoved out by Sassy. But no, that is going to be a forearm, I guess, when they committed that hit. Now we're getting some players into the penalty box from both teams. 30 seconds left in this jam. Yeah, Sid Vicious has a difficult tripod, and Pterodactyl, the same problem, a very tough tripod, halting any sort of progress going on. 10 seconds left in the jam. Breezy right back out and right in a great spot to perform some defense and offense for their team. But that ends. However, the bench was clear before the whistle blew, so the benches or the penalty box will be clear. She'll be Sassy getting out just in time before the jam ended. Micro Bruisers putting up 8 very difficult points in that 2 minutes. And we are going to have an official review that is going to be called by FoCo. All right, you use this time to make some announcements. The Beehive Skate Revolution, their last game of the season will be Skates and Smiles. This is an event to benefit our amazing officials and volunteers, and it is sponsored by Stubbs Dental. So join us Saturday, December 13th at 7 p.m. for a family-friendly night of fun. And our Malice in the Mountains tournament here is being sponsored by the Pie Pizzeria. They've been a longtime sponsor of Salt Lake Roller Derby, and they've been a landmark here in the Utah Valley since 1980. They continue to reign atop the best pizza list because of the business philosophy that consistency, quality, equitable pricing, and great service are the keys to success. And we are running out of time to put some raffle tickets. We will be announcing winners shortly here over the next 2 games. So if you want a chance to take home some prizes, I want to get in on that action right now. We have $1 per ticket or $25 for an arm span length of tickets. And when we are here tomorrow, we have 2 more games going on. We will also have some tournament patches. So the logo here for the 2025 Malice in the Mountains is a really nice one. So if you are able to get a patch, you want to score that tomorrow, they will be available here at the Derby Depot. All right, FoCo, who called that official review, they will, that decision did not work in their favor, so they will lose their official review for the rest of this game. They only get 1 per half. So looking for a multiplayer call, did not get it. And we are going to be back into the action here momentarily. And it'll be Spilly Idol, number 555 in light blue, going up against Whiskey Smash, number 90 in black. $14-point game. Micro Bruisers really looking to take over a lead. Come very close to it early on, but couldn't quite capitalize. But there is still plenty of time left in this game for them to do so. And just like that, it is Spilly Idol with lead, and that can help them close that out. Whiskey Smash, though, through in quick. Spilly Idol looking to put some points on the board. Whiskey Smash barrels right into the tripod. We'll see what the point count is here as that is get called off. We have, looks like 3 points each, so a 3-3 jam. All right, right after this jam, I'll have some raffle winner tickets to announce, so pay attention to that, as Solar Roller is through for a lead. Tiffy Twister, the jammer for FoCo, just gets by active with a nice move on the outside, keeps their balance and remains in. Both teams getting very physical out there. A lot of hard hits going on. Micro Bruisers pull out 1 point out of that to the River Rollers 4 points. River Rollers coming out a little bit ahead of that one. A 17-point game now as we are 17 minutes left. All right, if you have your raffle tickets out, announce the Home Depot gift card. Right now, though, we got some derby action going on. I'll announce that right after this jam. Night Fury out there for the River Rollers. MDK Demolition for FoCo. Night Fury trying to work to the outside, but it is blocked by, looks like Gonzo being assisted by number 20. That is Dead Zeppelin. Also have Jacqueline Hyde out there as a brace, doing some good work keeping Night Fury contained. Meanwhile, MDK Demolition right behind a tough tripod. Very, very solid. Looks like we have Don't Care Bear and Betty Rumble there. Can't see who their brace is, but they are an immovable wall right at the moment. So no lead has been assessed as we are 40 seconds left in this jam. And again, that's the story of this game and kind of the story of the tournament, how tough these defensive teams are. And we do have a star pass that goes to Sharkbait with a nice move, gets through. But no, there is a forearm called by it. No, it looks like Sharkbait is good, but it looks like the pivot for FoCo is was sent to the penalty box. Micro Bruisers put up 2. All right, so that winning ticket for the Home Depot gift card is 4559631. Again, that is 4559631. And since we have an official review, our official timeout going on right now, announce the other winners. We have the Zoo Package. And again, that is the Zoo Package. That is winning number ticket is 4559742. 4559742. And finally, we have a $100 tattoo gift card, and that winning number is 4559600. Again, that is 4559600. I'll run through those one more time quickly. It is the Home Depot gift card, 4559631. The Zoo Package, 4559742. And the $100 tattoo gift certificate, 4559600 are your raffle winners. We'll be announcing more shortly. Very quickly, She'll Be Sassy is out for lead. An advantage for the River Rollers. We are halfway through the second period here, but it is still well within FoCo's grasp to take lead and take the game. But like that, 4 points for She'll Be Sassy to help that River Roller lead out. A lot of collision as Fireballs trying to fight their way forward. Brought back and recycled by Active as She'll Be Sassy scoring some points, trying to get by Breezy and does. 8 points. And we do have a back block being called. That'll send the pivot for the River Rollers, Pterodactyl, to the box. And it looks like we're having a bit of some penalties being called right now, so we'll see who all goes to the box here. Firecracker of the River Roller sent to the box. So it looks like there'll be a 3-2 blocker advantage momentarily for FoCo. FoCo blocker looking to come out of the box here soon, so they'll have a 4-2 advantage as Sid Vicious for FoCo is out there against Solar Roller. Hard hit by Sharkbait to bring back Sid Vicious, and using that opportunity as Solar Roller to get right on through. Solar Roller, a lot of speed, a lot of power. And that one is going to be called off. And it was successfully called before Sid Vicious would come in and score some points, but we'll see what kind of what score River Rollers were able to put up there. It looks like no, it looks like a 0-0 jam. So great, again, a great defensive work. And we have another official timeout. So we'll be announcing more raffle ticket winners during the next game or in halftime in the next game. So don't worry if you are not here to collect. If we have your contact information, we will get those prizes to you tomorrow. Having Spilly Idol going in there trying to crash their way through, and does. There was a power jam advantage or power start advantage for Spilly Idol and was able to capitalize on that very quickly. Now slamming into the pack once again, looking for it, staying in, no, brought out and recycled back by Betty Rumble. And looks like there is now a power jam advantage River Rollers. So this is going to be a 2-minute jam as the lead jammer goes to the box. And Solar Roller just bursts out of the penalty box with a ton of energy and speed and gets on through. No, there's not lead. Okay, yep, Solar Roller pushing through. Now right back out is Spilly Idol. So now we have a clear penalty box, and so all team members are out. And yeah, Gonzo going down trying to push out Solar Roller. Both go down, but both are right back up. Spilly Idol, a lot of strength, but up against a very formidable tripod. Have active Betty Rumble and Firecracker there doing some great defensive work for the River Rollers. And everyone's right up past the jam line now. And there's a whole lot of bodies and a whole lot of colliding going on, but it is Spilly Idol that gets on through 4-4. That is time for this jam. We have 10 minutes left in this game. So those 4 points helping out the Micro Bruisers, but 4 points were also scored by the River Rollers, so a bit of a wash there. So now we have a 114-86, but we do have that going on. Officials getting together so we can handle this issue with our temporary power outage. right, we are back up and running. It is Tiffy Twister in light blue up against Whiskey Smash. 9 minutes left in this game. Still anybody's game. River Rollers really wanting to boost that lead, see if they can get a lead jammer position here. That'll really help them out. Tiffy Twister's not just going to let that happen, so she's shoving hard up against that tripod to make sure that lead goes to her. Looks like we have a penalty. We have a forearm call that sends one of the FoCo blockers, and that'll, looks like that frees up Whiskey Smash. So both these teams will have another game tomorrow. So get a night to rest up from two very bruising games that they had today. Ooh, looks like a attempted apex jump there. Didn't quite land it for Whiskey Smash. They're going to be brought back. They are still lead with a half 4 points on the board in this jam. Penalty box is now clear. All right, with a burst of speed is Tiffy Twister. Out of play though. Sharkbait trying to save that one, but definitely went way out of play in attempting to do so. So Tiffy Twister is out. And that forces the call off. Looks like the officials are going to discuss some things to make sure they get the score right.
Waiting for scores from Luke. We're waiting for scores from Luke.
We are back on MBK Demolition in light blue. Mitochondria down, but very quickly back up and lead position. Yeah, definitely lives up to that name. Just very much a fighting jammer. Nice quick moves though, so they're capable of that as well as fighting. As they start their scoring pass, Breezy takes the star and a star pass for FoCo. Out for four more is Mitochondria. Breezy gets on through. Looking to score more points here, probably, is Mitochondria. See what they do with it. Nice burst of speed. Gets by all four and calls it off. Excellent sprint, especially this late in the game. Nice burst of speed there to get another 4 points on the board. Fireball and Light Blue up against Solar Roller. Two very capable jammers. Fireball up front fighting. Solar Roller, though, sees the opening and gets it. Closing in on the final minutes here. River Rollers really pulling it together and really securing that lead as we enter into our last 5 minutes. Nice job by Solar Roller for 4 points. The FoCo blocker goes to the penalty. We have a multiplayer, and that'll send a River Roller player to the penalty box. Now we got 3-3 blockers out there right now. As both jammers are now struggling up against those tripods, but with a lot of power is Solar Roller. Out and for 4 more. Fireball takes a hard hit, but gets up. Solar Roller showing a lot of power this late in the game. 12 points on that. And that'll really secure the win here for the River Rollers. Of course, nothing is ever just over, but 142 to 86, and we have 4.5 minutes left. So great job by the River Rollers to really kind of pull together and get some big jams here late in the game. Now both teams very exhausted, so just those little bits of energy and speed that they've been able to show have been helping out. It's Sid Vicious though for FoCo now, showing a lot of strength, going up against Pterodactyl and Active. She'll be sassy down at turn number 1 as Sid Vicious gets lead position. Sid kind of worming their way on through and successfully does for 4. And we have a high block call that will send the jammer for the River Rollers to the box. That She'll Be Sassy. So now we have a power jam advantage. So as I was saying, how nothing is really safe in Derby, this is a good opportunity for the Micro Bruisers to capitalize on this and put up some points on the board. Sid Vicious is capable of doing it, as they are now already putting 12 points in this jam. Breezy for FoCo going to the penalty box. Vicious getting some good offensive help, really taking advantage of this power jam opportunity is FoCo. Looking to beat Active, gets on through, 16 points. Huge run for Sid Vicious. Coming around again, looking to score more. They have gotten their hips by a few blockers, but not out of the pack yet. Sid Vicious, one more to beat up on top, but is quickly being joined by some fellow blockers to slow down Sid Vicious's run. But they are through. Nice work late in the game by Sid Vicious, and 20 points. That is our highest scoring jam of the tournament, put up by Sid Vicious. 2 minutes left in the game. Have to maybe manage that clock a little wisely, but the Micro Bruisers, it'll be a tough call, but they could maybe strike here just in these last few minutes. It's been done before in roller derby, seeing 35-point jams right at the end. All right, looks like we have a official review being called by the River Rollers. They're going to be using up their official review of this half. They will retain it, of course, if the officials side with them. So we do have one more game today, and that is going to be Northern Arizona Wild West Outlaws going up against our home team, Wasatch Midnight Terror. And that was scheduled to start at 6 o'clock. Right now it's 5:27, so it's very likely that could happen as scheduled. So at 6 p.m., our last game of the day. Keep in mind, some of those raffle prizes may still be open. I haven't announced the winners for all of them yet, so there may be a chance to put some tickets into the ones that haven't been claimed. so the River Rollers looking for a backbutt claw on that official review, but the refs are saying they did not see that happen, so the River Rollers will be losing their official review. However, there's a minute 45 left in the game here. Both teams still have 2 team timeouts, so that can stop the clock. And really on the microbreezers here to pull something big out right in these last few seconds. And they do have a power start opportunity as Billy Idol, who does get lead. She'll be sassy though, is out of the penalty box and back in the game for the River Runners. On a scoring run now is Billy Idol. And looks like somebody's hitting turn number 1. Everyone's back up. There is a forearm call on Billy Idol, so they will lose lead position. And this will go the full 2 minutes, which will mean that this will be the last jam. No one will be able to call off this jam, so this is it. So last minute of the jam clock. Just as She'll Be Sassy gets through for 4 points. And Billy Idol comes roaring out of that penalty box there and slamming into the River Runner wall. And everybody's going to be putting all that they can do. Looks like a direction call on the pivot for the River Rollers. So that releases Billy Idol, who's able to get through for 4 points. Right now we have a 4-4 jam. Billy Idol, nice move to the inside. 8 points for Billy Idol. She'll Be Sassy still fighting their way through the pack here at turn number 4 right in front of us. All right, bodies are up, but everyone's getting up here. We have 1 second left. That is the whistle. That is the game. We'll tally up our totals. That was an 8-8 jam, so what a way to end it with both teams giving out everything they got right at the end there. Oh no, Microbruisers with 10 points on that. It's coming out a little bit ahead. Just not enough though, as it appears that the River Rollers, as of right now, are up 151 to 116. We'll get the official word on that here in a second. But again, another big defensive game. But it is Sid Vicious so far coming over with the highest jam point total in the tournament so far with 20 points.